Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, your special guest enforcer for this match. He is the TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Icon, Sting!
Earlier tonight in my revealing interview with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Sting, I thought it was apparent that the Icon has faced the reality that April the 19th, that lockdown in Philadelphia, when he steps into that 6 sides of steel cage, that it's all about survival against Mick Foley.
That's what makes Sting such a great world champion. I mean, he knows the stakes going into any match, and he knows on April 19th, it's a match like no other. You're never the same after you leave the 6 sides of steel.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your TNA Impact feature contest, a first blood handicap match for the New Japan Junior Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns.
The confidence level of the Motor City Machine Guns seemed to peak tonight when they stepped up to challenge Mick Foley in a handicap match. But then Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, they upped the ante. They put their New Japan Junior Tag Team Championship belts at stake. Judging by their comments, the Motor City Machine Guns love this spotlight, and I have to admit, they don't look like they're feeling the pressure in the least.
Their opponent from Long Island, New York, TNA Executive Shareholder and the Hardcore Legend, Mick Foley!
The Hardcore Legend's unpredictable nature has added yet another layer. Not only facing the Motor City Machine Guns in a handicap match, he decided to tweak this bout by adding a first blood stipulation, and then he proceeds to invite his lockdown opponent Sting to be special enforcer. You see him with the barbed wire baseball bat. That's either Foley's tribute to Major League Baseball's opening week of play, or maybe it's his weapon of choice tonight as he promised to carve up Alex Shelley like a Thanksgiving turkey.
I mean, seeing Mick Foley in this diminished state, it makes you ask the question, what on earth was Jeff Jarrett thinking when he invited him in here to TNA to be an executive shareholder? Like, you're going to make this guy work in an office and run things. I mean, Jeff Jarrett, above all people, should have known that you can't box in Mick Foley. This guy's got multiple personalities, and we've seen him here in the last few weeks.
And speaking of Jeff Jarrett, I have just received word from the TNA founder that he's not going to accept Foley's invitation to join Sting out here at ringside tonight for this handicap match. Jarrett has decided that it would be best to watch this on his office monitor. He wants to stay in the background. He doesn't want to cloud or confuse the issue at stake.
Still would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the office when him and Scott Steiner were talking. I mean, we all wonder exactly what Scott said to him and if he was having the same influence he seemed to be having last week.
Alex Shelley to start it off against Mick Foley, and think back to the past several months here in TNA and how much Alex Shelley has gotten under the skin of the TNA executive shareholder, Mick Foley.
Well, and then we heard Mick Foley talk about having to come home and seeing all of his kids wearing Alex Shelley haircuts. I mean, it's got to gall you. You want to be your kid's idol. You want to be the one they look up to, and all of his children look up to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Talked about the confidence level of Sabin and Shelley. They already have a New Japan Junior Tag Team title match set at Lockdown, but in spite of that, they agreed to put those tag team belts at stake here in this handicap match against Foley.
I mean, think about it. Mick Foley wins this match, there's going to be a match in jeopardy at Lockdown of not even happening. So, I mean, you think of that confidence. You know, another thing I got to point out to you, Mike, about the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In all the years that we've seen these, I don't believe I've ever seen those guys opened up. I don't think I've ever seen the Motor City Machine Guns bleed.
And that's how you win this match, by making your opponents bleed.
Oh!
Did you hear that? The drop kick off the apron from Sabin, and Foley hit the concrete.
I mean, listen to this. Oh, what a thud. Oh, someone better check the back of his head to see if it's bleeding. I mean, that was unreal, as he had nothing but concrete.
And that sound just got more sickening with every replay. Double suicide dive by the Guns, and Foley goes right into the steel.
And watch this, they knock him right into the guardrail here. Beautiful move, the double suicide dive. Again, the back of his head. Look at this shot, the Guns in total control.
Impactful moves from Sabin and Shelley. But who's gonna bleed first, Mick Foley or the Guns? And we are back on Impact. More of our main event matchup. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley versus both members of the Motor City Machine Guns, not only in a handicap match, but in a first blood match. Make your opponent bleed to defeat him.
The Motor City Machine Guns have been doing an incredible job of working together, an incredible job of using their speed to take advantage of Mick Foley. And I'll tell you what, they have been so close. I don't know how Mick Foley's head wasn't busted open earlier when it hit the concrete, but it hasn't been.
And while Shelley holds Foley, off the top missile, drop kick by Sabin to the back of the hardcore legend and takes him down. At the outset, I was surprised that Foley named Sting as special enforcer, but he's had little effect on the match.
Well, what Sting's doing right now is he's watching the Motor City Machine Guns just chopping down the side, kind of seizing them up a little bit before lockdown. It's a smart move. You don't have to do anything. The Guns are doing it for him.
Is this a tribute to Sting? I think it's actually, that's Sabin who's mocking the icon, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and Sting's not too happy with those actions.
Well,
Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah, it's a little lesson learned there by Chris Sabin. You don't mock the TNA World Champion, and in doing so, he just cost his partner.
Now, Foley, double arm DDT on Shelley. Spiked him, dropped him right on his head.
You can see referee Andrew Thomas checking on Alex Shelley to see if he's bleeding, and oh, you can see Mick Foley now. You know what he's pointing for. You know what he's going to grab.
Shelley's not bleeding, but Foley has taken out the trademark sock. Here it comes, and look out, Alex Shelley, mandible claw.
He's got it cinched in, and man, he just kind of takes it and flings Alex Shelley.
What is that? That's blood. That's blood. This match is going to go. That's all right. Hey. What?
Andrew Thomas, as he went to call for the bell to stop this first blood match,
Come on, it's blood.
he's stopped by Mick Foley, and the referee's intimidated by the executive shareholder. I think it's pretty safe to say that Mick Foley is not satisfied with the amount of blood. Wants to dish out more punishment, including that suplex on the concrete.
Tell you what, you might be talking about a broken back after that. Now you've got Mick Foley coming over here to the table. I don't know what this crazy SOB's gonna say.
This is not what I promised. This is not what I'm delivering. I told you I was gonna bust somebody wide open. Not to come in with a little half a thimble full of blood. Shelley, I'm gonna make you suffer.
He not only wants to torture Alex Shelley, I think he wants to do it right in front of Sting, his opponent at lockdown, and here comes the barbed wire baseball bat into play.
And you can see Alex Shelley in the ring can barely get up at that shot that he took on the concrete. I'm surprised it didn't break his back. Mick Foley holding that barbed wire bat up high, wanting to just make this thing brutal.
Foley said he was going to carve him up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Oh, Sting out of nowhere! Steel chair shot to the head of Foley.
What time precision there by the icon. Sting just waiting for his moment. When to catch Foley, and Andrew Thomas looking at him, and I believe he's busted open. He is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the Motor City Machine Guns!
Just moments after we said that special ringside enforcer Sting didn't have any effect on the match, boy, that chair shot turned it around for the Guns, and they get the victory.
I'll tell you what, it's a little bit of revenge for Sting after so many shots he's taken from Foley, and he just waited for the opportune moment and cracked him with that chair, and it's on.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like at Lockdown in Philadelphia when Sting and Mick Foley battle for the TNA World Heavyweight title?
Come on, steady that. Come on. I'm steady that shit. You want a piece? I